So if you're thinking about applying to ESSEC for the Masters in Management, let me walk you through everything properly so you can decide with clarity, especially from an Indian perspective. ESSEC Business School is one of the France's top grande école institution, and its main campus is in Cergy, which is about 35 minutes from central Paris. That proximity to Paris is not a small detail. Paris is one of the Europe's largest economic hubs, especially strong in luxury, consulting, finance, and multinational headquarters. So when you study at ESSEC, you're not isolated in a small student town. You're connected to companies like LVMH, L'Oreal, Deloitte, PwC, and several global firms that actively recruit from top-ranked schools. ESSEC also has campuses in La Défense, which is Europe's largest business district, in Singapore and in Rabat. That multi-campus presence gives you exposure not just to France, but also to Asia and emerging markets, which can be strategically useful if you're thinking about long term. Let's talk about outcomes, because that's what most of you really care about. ESSEC MiM graduates typically go into consulting, finance, luxury brand management, and increasingly into tech and product roles across Europe. Consulting is a big draw. You'll see placements into strategy firms and Big Four consulting. Finance roles include corporate finance, asset management, and investment banking. Because of its Paris location, ESSEC has a particularly strong positioning in luxury and brand management, which is a niche France dominates globally. In terms of salary, the average base salary after graduation typically falls into the range of 55 to 65,000 euros per year, depending on the role and geography. If you convert that to Indian purchasing power and compare it with Indian packages, you're looking at a very competitive outcome, especially if you stay in Europe and grow there. Of course, consulting and finance roles can push total compensation even higher. Let's talk about the class profile. ESSEC's MIM intake is usually around 350 to 400 students, and it is very international. Around 40 to 45% of the cohort is international, representing more than 90 nationalities. Indians are present, but they're not the majority over there. Typically, you will find around 5 to 10% Indians in the batch. That means you get diversity, but you're also not lost in a crowd of only Indian students. The average GMAT score for admitted students is generally in the mid to high 600s on the classic scale, and roughly equivalent to 635 on the focus edition scale. For GRE, you're looking at an average of around 320 or above. This is a quantitatively strong cohort. ESSEC values academic rigor, and you can feel that in the classroom. The acceptance rate is estimated to be around 15 to 17%. And honestly, it's gonna go lower only given the recent US geopolitical changes. This is not an easy admit. It's very selective. But what's important is that ESSEC does not evaluate you only on GMAT or GRE or your academics, right? They are looking for strong analytical ability, leadership potential, international exposure, and clarity of career goals. As an Indian applicant, you must clearly answer why Europe, why France, and very importantly, why just ESSEC. If your application feels generic, it won't stand out. They want people who can integrate into an international classroom and eventually into European companies. One of the biggest strengths of ESSEC MIM is its flexibility. The program can stretch over to 2 to 3 years depending on the path you choose. This is not a rushed 10 to 12 months degree. Students typically complete 2 to 3 internships and often accumulate 12 to 18 months of work experience before they graduate. This is extremely valuable because when you finally apply for full-time roles, you're not applying as a fresher. You already have European professional exposure. Let's talk about something very unique in France, the apprenticeship model. ESSEC offers apprenticeship track where you work part-time with a company while studying. In many cases, the company pays your tuition fee and also gives you a salary. For Indian students, this can significantly reduce the financial burden of a 50,000 plus euro program. However, this is important. Most apprenticeship roles require French language proficiency. If you're not willing to learn French seriously, you will limit your options. Another strong differentiator at ESSEC is its chair model. The school partners with major corporations to create specialized academic chairs in areas like luxury, private equity, digital transformation, and strategy. These chairs are not just theoretical add-ons. They involve company-sponsored courses, live projects, and sometimes direct recruitment pipelines. If you position yourself well within a chair aligned to your career goal, it can become a very powerful networking and placement lever. Academically, you can specialize in strategy, finance, data analytics, marketing, luxury brand management, entrepreneurship, and lots more. The flexibility allows you to tailor your curriculum. You can combine disciplines and build a profile that matches your target industry rather than being logged in a rigid structure. Let's talk numbers on investment. Tuition fee for ESSEC MiM is roughly around 57,000 euros. Living costs in the Paris region can change from 10 to 15,000 euros per year depending on your lifestyle. So overall, you're looking at an investment that could touch 60 to 70 lakhs INR when everything is included. And that's a serious investment. And you need to approach it with a very clear ROI mindset. There are several scholarships available, including merit-based awards, diversity scholarships, need-based financial aid, and external scholarships like Eiffel Excellence, Charpak, Legrand. But competition is very strong, and strong academic performance combined with leadership and impact will definitely increase your chances. France also offers an 18 months post-study work visa after completing a master's degree. This gives you time to search for jobs and convert to a work permit once you secure employment. Compared to many other countries, this is a solid advantage, especially if you're committed to building a long-term career in Europe. So is ESSEC worth it for an Indian student? It makes sense if you are serious about consulting, finance, luxury, or European corporate roles. And if you're ready to learn French, if you're willing to build your profile strategically through internships and networking. It may not be the right choice if you expect an entirely English-only experience with guaranteed outcomes without integration. ESSEC is a powerful platform, but it rewards preparation. If you treat it like a brand name shortcut, you will definitely struggle. If you treat it like a structured European career launchpad and invest in language, networking, and skill building from day one, it can genuinely transform your trajectory. And if you are very interested to get into a school like ESSEC, HEC, INSEAD, ESCP, there is a link in the description. We ensure that everyone we work with gets at least an admit. So if you're looking for someone to help you out, please reach out to us. All the best.